Meanwhile, residents in Hartbeespoort Dam say they are determined to ensure that their dam remains hyacinth-free. Casper Kruger of the Hartbeespoort Dam Rehabilitation Steering Committee says through working together with the members of the community, they were able to clear the dam of hyacinth. Kruger says 38% of the dam was covered with hyacinth and now is at 2%.
And we know we must drastically make a difference, and we all stand together. That's how we started Hartbeespoort Rehabilitation Steering Committee, with the community-driven people, spending money, sending us money, update us every time where's what. Everybody was just working together as a community. The wonderful people you meet, and at that time was so beautiful. And this is where we've got a dam now. Even Rhodes University bring us some bugs, and it's like a test, you know, to test it. And then after before the winter, it kills about 98% of the hyacinths that was left. There's about 2% left on the dam.
More than 700 residents in Guanyama village, about 40 kilometers outside Port St. Johns in the Eastern Cape, share just two 5,000-litre water tanks. According to the ward councillor and residents, the tanks are filled irregularly, sometimes only once every 2 weeks, which amounts to just over 1 litre of municipal water per person per day. Now, residents say they had a water crisis long before COVID-19. People are not stressing about water to wash their hands, but to cook and drink. To discuss this matter further, I'm joined now by Imtiaz Sooliman, the founder of Gift of the Givers. Imtiaz, a pleasure to have you on the program.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
So as you've heard, the people living in this area are complaining over just basic needs, saying that they want to follow government's protocols regarding hygiene, to wash their hands and ensure that they stop the spread of COVID-19, but they simply can't do this because they don't have enough water to cook or even drink. What is the picture your team is seeing on the ground in the Eastern Cape, and what are your relief operations looking like?
Oh, it's far more extensive than just one place. Sorry, I'm sitting in a car. Hope you can see me properly. It's far more extensive than in one place only. And it's not only now. The Eastern Cape has been in trouble for the last 3 to 4 years. And the COVID-19 is the least of the problems right now. People don't have water to drink. They don't have water for medication. The animals don't have water. They are dying. The hygiene and the washing comes afterwards. We are right now in Klipplaat, a place called Klipplaat. It's about 120 kilometers from Graafrenet. The water shut down completely in the town this morning. Fortunately, we have drilled 4 boreholes over the last 4 days, producing a couple of million liters of water per day. But like Klipplaat, Aberdeen, Janssenville, State Level, Waterwood, Paddy, Mooiplaas, parts of King Williamstown, parts of Queenstown, Fort Beaufort, Adelaide, Makanda, Alice, Chromie. It just goes on and on. There's enough places where there's no water. And the problem with that is people are absolutely desperate. We are, right now, in fact, in the next 20 minutes or so, we should be engaging the minister to give feedback on what we're seeing on the ground. The dams are empty. The balls have run dry. People are having difficulty. Even the clinics. Clinics need water. Schools need water. The other challenge is in towns. Businesses come to us and say, if we don't have water, we close. If we close, our staff don't get paid for the day. So the economic damage because of no water for people already in difficulty because of lockdown is just so tremendous in the Eastern Cape.
So Imtiaz, this surely sounds like a recipe for disaster. You speak about the work that you're doing, including the drilling of boreholes. What are the biggest challenges that your teams are facing on the ground to allow for water relief efforts to be carried out?
Well, it's a problem. It's not only water. It's different things. Water is one of the crises. It's a disaster, yes, but it's a disaster compounded by many factors. Water is one. Absence of food. People are hungry all over. It's a major issue. Thirdly, hospitals need PPEs, and there's a huge demand for that. And fourthly, fodder of animals. We're involved in all 4 situations. What balls? You asked me the challenge for balls. The problem with that is you can't drill in the morning and have water in the afternoon. Because even if you have that water in the afternoon, it has to be tested. And it takes 10 days or longer before you can bring that water. There's the challenges of how much water is available, where it's available. Fortunately for us, our hydrologist, Dr. Nhlanhla, the only word I can use is a master in terms of finding water. In the last 2 years, we've drilled 400 boreholes, all functional. We went into Klipplaat last week, Friday. The same day, within a few hours, we had the first borehole. The second day, we had water in the second bowl. On Sunday, we tried drilling. We got 4,500 liters per hour. He was not too happy. He moved the rig 4 meters apart, away. He drilled again and he found 750,000 liters per day. He moved back to the third bowl and found 500,000 liters a day. So we are very fortunate that he's finding water. The unfortunate part is, every time people see the news, they see us drilling, we get flooded with calls from everywhere with the same issue. We have no water. We have nothing to drink. We can't take our medication. Our children can't wash. They can't go to school. It's over and over the same issue. It requires a lot of funding. It requires a lot of support to get to as many towns as quickly as possible. And when I say towns, I mean deeply rural areas in the Eastern Cape.
When you speak to some of these residents, some claim that the local authority is not doing enough to address the problem of water shortages or to ensure that relief efforts are underway. What has been done by government in response to the situation?
Look, it's a complicated problem. That's what we want to discuss with the Minister right now, in the next half an hour, as I mentioned. The local authorities are stuck. There's a complicated problem between municipalities and the Department of Water and Sanitation. And one of the biggest problems with that has been that money has been used the wrong way. Money hasn't been used for what it's supposed to be used. Money was, disappeared. I mean, the department has lost, I think, over 30 billion in money that has disappeared. The other problem is that money was used to pay ESCOM charges, ESCOM debt, rather than to be used for what it was supposed to be used. And of course, money was just stolen. So they have this challenge from the National Department of Water and Sanitation, where, of course, everybody in the municipality is not a crook. And those who are trying to do something are stuck because there's no water. For now, we are trying to engage the municipalities where we can. For example, in Klipplaat, we got full support from the municipalities saying, thank you very much for what you're doing. Can we fill our water tankers from your bowl? We don't have the means to drill bowls. The other big thing that has happened, we go to many towns. The residents tell us there was a bowl drilled here some years ago, but it's not functional. Nobody put pumps, nobody connected it. And a lot of money was spent drilling boreholes, but I don't think the contract said find water. Because many dry boreholes were drilled and people just went away. Contractors just left. At the same time, there were other boreholes that has water, but they're not functional. So all you have to do is find these boreholes, and a lot of those boreholes are pointed out to you by the residents. You put a pump in, you connect electricity, and you can save a lot of money. But to answer your question, wherever we can engage the municipality, we can. We are doing that, but they have the same problem. There's no money.
Yeah. Now, this has also caused problems for farmers. People have also lost livestock because of the water shortages. A lot of these communities live off the land. Just explain to us further what problems this water shortage is causing.
The animal is not only economic for these farmers. A lot of these farmers are very attached to these animals, like their own children. Just put it straightforward like that. And you see them break down when the animals die. Also in Graflinet, on a few days ago, it was on Tuesday, and the pig farmers have been calling us for quite some time, showing us pictures of the pigs who have become very thin, showing how the piglets are dying because there's no water and no food. And we brought cabbages for them, we brought dried fruit for them. You could see the gratitude on their face. And they said, look, if our animals die, we have no income. There's no survival. It's the same with the sheep farmers. It's the same with the cattle farmers. Even horses have gone thin because of no water. In a place, Sutherland, in the Northern Cape, the area of the beautiful merino sheep, 4 years ago, there were 440,000 merino sheep. Now, there's under 30,000 left. Many died, many had to be sold. It affects not only the farmer, it affects the farm worker. It means there's a massive loss of jobs in the farming industry because there's no sheep or there's no cattle or there's a loss of these animals simply because of drought. You know the situation is really, really bad when the farmer tells you to bring a food parcel for the farm worker and for the farmer and his family. Then you know the situation is really, really critical.
Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman there from the Gift of the Givers, giving us an idea of just how bad the situation is given the water shortages in many parts of the country.